radar after pausing the video, and there's a pretty intense cell that's still coming our way from the southwest. So looks like we have one more burst of very heavy rain to go through. And as I mentioned in the last video, or maybe I'm gonna mention it now, I'm definitely uploading the first one, but I may not upload this one. But just in case I do, there's a chance of some rotation this afternoon because the winds will be strong out of the south. I heard the forecast will have south winds at 10 to 15 to 20 miles an hour with gusts up to 25 in the afternoon. And that means anything, winds aloft coming from the southwest and surface winds from the south. That is definitely, ringing. That definitely rings alarms. And the rain's not getting a little heavier. I mean, this morning's instability might keep down the temperatures a little bit, but we might hit the upper 80s this afternoon, and boom, will the thunderstorms blow. Plus, this storm could actually set up some outflow, a little outflow boundary, and that could have some thunderstorms form along that, and then travel northeastward. And if you have strong south winds, and the storms are coming in from the southwest, and they tap some of the low and mid-level rotation, the storms could, and they're strong enough, they could put down a funnel cloud and maybe even a wall cloud. I don't think we're going to get any tornadoes today because the winds are not going to be strong enough, but you might get some hailers, you might get maybe a brief wall cloud, especially west of the city. But I think this morning's storms will keep down the instability a little bit. So that might be the good news. But I'm going to talk about the tropics a little bit. Currently, Invest 99L looks very impressive. All the models are showing it going up the East Coast, and the latest run of the 6Z showed it just going off the East Coast. We just had a cloud to cloud. Yeah, that's all intra-cloud. All the thunder's heading. All the thunder you're just hearing is inside the cloud. So there's a thunderstorm going through right now. Ooh, fire rescue. I don't know what that is for, but I think that's for flooding, maybe, because that's usually not for medical reasons. You don't usually get that for medical. Usually get that for like rescue, but we don't get flooding in this area ever. So it's like maybe car accident. Actually, that area that right on the street, that area is usually floods a little bit, but it didn't rain that hard or that much this morning for that. This area in Queens actually didn't get that much rain compared to northern parts. Got about just a little rain. I could tell by looking over there how much rain fell this morning, so it's not that much. We definitely did not get enough rain for flooding here in central Queens in Regal Park and Forest Hills, because the worst of the storms were kind of like all around us. The worst part was mostly to our north. It was like this around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning as well, but not much worse than right now. But going back to Hurricane or future Hurricane Franklin, or what is now Invest 99L, will track west across the Atlantic. There's two possible tracks. It will either go up the East Coast and threaten the whole eastern seaboard, or will go into the Caribbean and possibly into the Gulf of Mexico, which is just a worst case scenario. But most indications are showing that it will go up the East Coast at the moment, and maybe just off the East Coast or up the East Coast and affect everyone along the East Coast, like Irene and like an Irene type track, or maybe an Earl type track in 2011, maybe Floyd, maybe definitely this is a true Cape Verde storm in every sense of the imagination. This is Cape Verde, classic. Gloria, Floyd, Ike, you know, Cape Verde storm could go anywhere from the Caribbean in Central America all the way up to Atlantic Canada. So Cape Verde storm has its entire playing field. In rare cases, a Cape Verde hurricane can even cross Central America and go into the Pacific and become a Pacific named storm. But that's very unlikely because almost all the models are saying it's going to curve up right around 75 degrees west. Around 70 to 75, just curve. You either go northeast or continue going north. Depends if the system in the Caribbean, if the area disturbed weather in the Caribbean becomes a storm in the Gulf and goes north, that could pull the storm north instead of going northeast. Just pull it north like that and have it go into the East Coast, which could be a devastating blow. But the GFS had a very powerful hurricane off the East Coast, the 6Z. Category 4 going up the East Coast, and then Category 2 off Long Island. And don't get me wrong, the waters are pretty warm off the East Coast right now. Not as warm as they were last year, but they're nevertheless very warm right now. And waters in like Raritan Bay around 74, 75 degrees. You even having some upper 70s off the southern New Jersey coast, which is definitely marginal, like enough to sustain a hurricane. Not even to sustain a fast-moving hurricane, but to sustain a hurricane over its waters. And the water temperatures in the Gulf Stream are in mid to upper 80s. That's also enough to sustain a Category 5 hurricane. So, wow, that's definitely impressive. So, we could be getting a big hurricane in our hands. And that could be very impressive. Well, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.